Pisces, welcome to your October 2020 reading. This is Ash to Air Tarot, and this is for the period of roughly around October 15th through the 31st, give or take a week maybe in November, but definitely for the Samhain season. I have all of my, well, not all of them, but a selection of my more seasonal decks to celebrate Halloween, or my darker decks. This is my favorite time of the year. The veil is very thin between the worlds and messages come in quite clear. And I always kind of feel like I get a recalibration or a level up from my guides around this time of year. So I always look forward to it. I'm glad to be back after a short hiatus. I did have a big move, and so that kind of obsessed my life for about a month and a half. But I'm back in time, hopefully, to give you a little bit of guidance and clarification for what you could be focusing on and how best to utilize the energies of this month. So we're going to start with the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And we're going to get draw a card for an overall theme of what is going on with you during this time. And we've got Apple, risk and reward. So Pisces, the message here is, what is it that you may not be willing to stick your neck out for, that you're afraid? What are you afraid to step into that may give you a great reward, but you got to take the chance? And why are you not willing to take that chance? Is it a logical reason, or is it an emotional fear that's holding you back from stepping forward? This card has kind of a dual meaning, because it could mean that you're not risking enough, or it could mean that you are about to take a risk, a huge risk, in order to gain a big reward. But you know that the potential to lose is palatable. So whatever position you're in, you're definitely on the precipice of either one. So let's take one card from the True Black Tarot and see if we can clarify that even clearer. Seven of Cups. Well, you're definitely feeling indecisive. So I'm definitely taking that you're contemplating taking a risk, but you're not quite there yet. You're not quite ready to commit to it. You feel like you have a lot of options, so you're weighing them all out before you commit to anything, before you commit to the biggie move. You're sort of strategizing right now and really thinking about how you would move forward. You know, like if you were to take this risk, what would you do? How would you do it? You're almost sitting like a lawyer and going over the arguments in your head of like, well, if I say this, they may say that. If I take this action, this might be the consequence. You know, you're really working it all out in advance. It's like you're planning your opening arguments or your closing arguments, and you're really looking at it as something that you do have to, it's a big deal. Whatever this is a big deal. Let's move on and get more. Let's move on to the Trick or Treat Tarot by Duck Soup. This is a Halloween deck, if there ever was one. What is Pisces contemplating? What's going on with Pisces, and what is this risk that they're plotting and planning? Old Scratch, the Devil. I think this is the Death card in reverse. Interesting. Interesting. No, I feel this one. The Hierophant. Okay, well, three major arcana cards, so I was definitely not wrong when I intuited that this is a big deal, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing. And it is a biggie. It's a biggie, biggie, biggie. It involves some pretty intense entanglements and attachments. Um, I'm getting a really strong vibe that it has to do with a relationship because, the Devil card pretty much traditionally talks about, oh, well, in regard to relationships, excuse me, it talks about codependency and where you feel sort of trapped or guided by your, lower impulses and stuck in a cycle or in some kind of a karmic debt with somebody else. So there may be some, oh gosh, I definitely think that there's some obsessiveness involved in this matter, either from you or from the other person that you may have your sights set on. There's a little bit of there's definitely an entanglement. There's karma to work through. There's codependency to work through. There is closure to try to seek out. And, but there's definitely like a magnetic pull. So whatever it is that you're thinking about, that it can kind of make you stir crazy. Like it will knock you off of a logical path and put you on, operating, from your passions or from your, I don't want to even say your heart, mainly from your passions. You're driven by will and maybe even lust. Okay. And then you've got the Death card in reverse. So this decision that you're looking to take and make, or this risk, is heavily involved in a recent new beginning for you. You've kind of had a rebirth in a big way. Like your way of thinking has changed, your lifestyle has changed, your values may have changed, you may even look different. I mean, you had like a major the reason why I think it's in the reverse position is because it's not as strong. But most recently, that's where you were coming from, and it prompted a big learning curve for you, and it prompted you to rethink your feelings, and you may still be, and I think you're still in this stage right now of rethinking kind of your ideology, your personal ideology is sort of getting called into question. And a lot of your values may have shifted or changed, or you may be thinking about things in a completely different way. And you've also been trying to practice mastery within yourself in regard to your emotions and a few other aspects that you feel pertain exclusively to you that may have held you back in the past. Okay, so let's go to the Halloween Tarot and get some clarification on this. So tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more to help my Pisces tribe. Okay, King of Imps, and I'm putting this directly under the Devil. So that is the King of Rods in reverse. And the King of Rods in reverse is definitely, someone who's not that trustworthy. Perhaps, a player. And I don't know, I'm not quite sure yet whether you were entangled with a player someone who played your emotions, or whether you are the player yourself. I have to keep going to get more clarity, but, and you got the devil card again. Wow. So, oh, wow, Pisces, you've got some strong energies that you're dealing with right now too. And when I say you're dealing with them, like you really got your feet to the flame here. You're really trying to change, I feel like. Let me just keep going before I keep, I need to get quiet for a second. So just bear with me a minute here, Pisces. Okay, all right, it's getting clearer. So, here's the story. I think you are starting to want to have more consistency and security and peace in your romantic world and in your view of romance and romantic relationships. I think you've spent a good deal of time sort of playing the field and taking it lightly. And by the way, I just need to say, this isn't for every single Pisces out there. I feel like sometimes what happens, guys, when I read, and I can't predict it. It just sometimes happens. But, obviously this is a reading for the collective. So there's a gazillion Pisces in the world, and it's very difficult for every single one of you to be tuned in and feel like the message is right for you. I can't reach everybody. But what occasionally happens is when I do a reading, sometimes the reading will be more general and it will appeal to a majority of Pisces gang out there. But sometimes what happens is it's like a small group of people, or maybe even just one person. And I don't know why it happens, but like I get tuned into that one energy and the message becomes very specific. And I didn't really understand why that was happening for a while, because I'm a fairly new channel. I've been reading for a very long time, my whole life, but putting it up on YouTube is kind of new for me. So when I started doing these collective readings, I used to get a little confused in the beginning, because sometimes I would get these very specific, like novelesque type stories within the reading, and I'd be like, how can this be right for everybody? It's not right for everybody. So what I've just, rather than freak out about it and try to understand why sometimes that happens, all I can say is that from a spiritual reading perspective, somebody needs a specific message and it's urgent. Whether that's one Pisces or a little group of Pisces or what, but somebody is locking into my energy and their story's unfolding. Okay, so just bear with me here. If it doesn't resonate, you're always free to jump to another video, but I got to get it out because it's the messages are coming in and I can't ignore them. Okay, enough of a digression. So let's get back to this particular story that's locking in. So I feel like this particular group of Pisces, or one person that I'm tuning into, used to be a bit of a player. Okay, you didn't really have a very hopeful or positive viewpoint on love. You liked romance and you liked the chase, and you enjoyed the flush of romance and the first blush of it, where it's hot and heavy and lusty and you can't stop thinking about that person, but that was kind of like where it ended for you. Like you could only get that far when it came to relationships. And then once all that excitement wore off, you didn't transition to the next phase of love. You just kind of stayed in this sort of more superficial stage, where you see the person as being perfect and they're on a pedestal, right? And so you cycled in this sort of obsessive compulsive pattern for quite a while. And something happened in your life that caused a major shift or a major change that challenged that way of operating for you. Because that you started with the devil, and then when I was aspecting the next card that you got, which was Death Reversed, which was kind of indicative of this sort of recent past event of the death of your identity. And I said, well, let me aspect that. What's that all about? Then the devil card popped out again. So it just basically means that aspect of you that we touched on that came out first to let us know that that's what the revelation was about, I'm not sure I want to go down this journey or this path anymore. And also you went through a period of spiritual impoverishment. The Five of Pumpkins is the Five of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. So, this can mean literal poverty, but it can also mean spiritual poverty, where you just feel empty and you feel hopeless. And then the Queen of Bats in reverse came out. And I thought, oh, okay. Yeah, so basically in the sort of line of the line of broken hearts that you may have caused throughout your life, one stood out. One definitely did you in. In other words, you couldn't recover from breaking this person's heart. This is someone who, the Queen of Swords, when she's in the reverse position, is someone who, if you betray her, she's done. I mean, she could be vindictive. She could definitely want revenge, but she's not as nefarious, I think, personally, as the Queen of Wands in reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse is quite dangerous. I mean, that's been my experience with my interpretation of the cards. But the Queen of Swords in reverse is really like, she just ices you. She just becomes, she takes her emotions completely out of it. So she's not really so much vengeful. She's just concise, and she becomes even more cold. And she just cuts you off. That's it. It's like you're done. Bye. Okay. So if I'm talking to the female Pisces, this energy can also be for a male. Just keep in mind that gender can be fluid here, because I am, again, tapping into a collective group. I didn't start off reading for one individual, but definitely, whether you're a male or female Pisces listening to this reading, this last lover that you walked away from, or mistreated maybe, or broke their heart, it's a little shocking, because it feels very different than the others. And so you've been in a position of trying to explore why this one affected you so so harshly is what I meant to say. Then when I asked to aspect the Hierophant, which is, you kind of challenging this old you, these old values, which would be the devil, would be the King of Imps in reverse. Then, when I asked for clarification on that, the World came up, which is an amazing card, because the World means that, first of all, you're coming to the end of a major cycle, because this is the last card in the major arcana, right? So you're coming, you've taken the Fool's journey, and you've learned something, because now you're on the precipice of a whole new cycle. So you did do some work here, Pisces. So congratulations. You know, you got to the end of a cycle and you've had some revelation, and now the positive aspect here is that there's a world of possibilities open to you for a new start. What better timing could you have, Pisces? But I'm so not surprised, because Pisces are very intuitive, spiritual people, and they are, they sniff stuff out before many of the other signs do when it comes to seeing the writing on the wall and having psychic sense. So I'm not surprised that you're in total jive with this time of the year. I am curious to see, because we still have this theme of indecision, and I want to know what you're indecisive about, because it seems like you're pretty clear about some of the changes you want to make within yourself, but what is the risk that you're looking to take? That I want to discover. Sorry, I know this reading is going on a little longer than expected, but I'm finding it really, really interesting. So I hope you are too. Let's go to the Crow Tarot and see what else comes out. So what's, tell me more about this risk that Pisces is about to take. So we got the Page of Swords, so it's something about communication for sure. And the Devil again. Oh my God, 3 times. Except this time, holy crap, Pisces. Sorry, I can't help it. I have to swear sometimes when I get excited. Okay, so this time when the Devil flew out of the deck, which is the 3rd time you've gotten it, it's in the reverse. That to me is a good sign, because it means that you're breaking that habit, that obsessive compulsive nature of kind of being selfish and avoiding intimacy and getting involved in a codependent relationship that's kind of based on lust or whatever. I mean, all of those aspects are being broken. You are breaking the chains, which is really cool. You've got the Page of Swords, and it did come out in the reverse, but I'm not really that concerned about it, because I feel like, it sort of is clarifying this indecision. I think, you want to communicate. You want to communicate to someone, but you're not quite ready to do it yet, or you're thinking still. You're not completely committed, but you're definitely serious about it. And then you got the 6 of Wands, which is an amazing card. It is a happy card, a card of fulfillment, of victory, of success, of beating it. So I think you're going to beat this negative aspect of yourself that you've been digging into. So I want to aspect, first of all, the Page of Swords. Who do you want to communicate with? Because I got clarity on the whole story here that unfolded. So I know what's going on with you. Okay, Temperance in reverse. The Lovers. Okay. All right, so... okay, it's what I thought. I wasn't sure. That's why I kept going, and I got quiet there for a second, but I'm pretty confident now. So yeah, you wanna issue an apology to someone, and I have a feeling it's the Queen of Swords that we spoke of before, the Queen of Bats. You're looking to create peace, to create harmony again. Hence the Temperance card, and you got the Temperance card in reverse. So you're leery about whether or not it's going to work, but that's what your heart wants. And then I got the Lovers, and it's this card is twofold. While the Lovers has a lot of meaning behind it, it doesn't just mean a love affair, or two. The masculine and the feminine energy coming together. It's about polarity and balancing polarity. It's about decision making, and commitment. And so, it ties in with the indecision at the top of the reading. I think you're looking to make a decision here about this old love affair of yours that rocked your world. Let's find out how the Queen of Swords is going to accept, or if she will accept your apology, or how she'll react to the communication should you take that risk. Because now I think we're pretty clear what the risk is. So let's see what the potential reward could be, if there is one. By the way, this is the Crooked Way Gothic Tarot, Bitter Pill Edition by Duck Soup. Okay, this one doesn't want to leave my hand. My gosh, Pisces, this is intense. Whoever this is for, you guys, you're killing me here. Can I just tell you that you got the same damn two cards again? You got the Lovers again. You're getting repeat cards like berserk. I've never seen anything like this. And you got the Seven of Skulls, which is the Seven of Cups, which is what you started with. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, for real. Wow. Well, this is definitely a soulmate. This is definitely a karmic connection that needs to be healed. Because you remember how when I was talking about the Queen of Bats, I was saying, the Queen of Swords, that she was like the one that you couldn't dupe, or the one that you hurt that just went too far, or you can't forget, or, the one that basically, she was the straw that broke the camel's back of these patterns that you had in the past. Because when you hurt her, it just ripped your whole world apart. And maybe you didn't see that in the initial period of the breakup, but now, being away from it a little bit, time having passed, it's all hitting you, okay? So she's the catalyst. And that's why I think that she's special in the string of love affairs of your life. She was put into your path in this lifetime to create this upheaval for you and to make this happen, because she is reflecting you. She is reflecting the exact same cards that you are. What you're conflicted about and contemplating, she's conflicted about and complicating. Now, neither of you know that of the other person. So there's definitely not been communication between the two of you. So you have no idea that she feels this way until now, or he feels this way until now. And likewise, she didn't really know where you stand, But it's clear that there's definitely a strong connection still between the two of you. Very, very strong. You're mirroring each other. So there's a really interesting... Wow. I kind of want to keep going here, because I feel like there's more that I have to dig out. And I know this is becoming a very long reading, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do a little bit more with Gothic Tarot. I'm curious. I'm so curious. Because now we got to find out what the advice is from Spirit. So now that we know that, she's up in the air, you're up in the air, but you're both thinking about each other, and you're kind of like half like, what if, can we reconcile? Do I take the risk and swallow my pride and go talk to her? Do I reach out to him? Or do I wait for him to reach out to me? Do I, Mistress of Pentacles. Huh. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting now imagery. messages through imagery, and the card is reflecting it. So you see there's this woman, you know, Amelia Rust, Mistress of Pentacles. She's standing outside of a house here. So she's a woman who is kind of, you know, she's found some comfort, some peace. She's got a rabbit here in the field. You know, rabbits are typically, you know, they do represent love and fertility. There's a gravestone here with a rose on it, a fresh rose. So there is someone that she's mourning, but she's not dead inside because she's got this rabbit here. And definitely she's the one who put the rose because she's wearing a rose, and she's holding what looks to be like either a little book or a letter or a photo album. And then there's a light on in the back. And there is an image, like a ghostly image in the back. So to me, this card is like she remembers someone. She's remembering someone. She's honoring the memory of someone. And she has some sort of hope for a new beginning. She may be reflecting. So I think that if you approach this other Pisces, they will be receptive to at least hearing you out. They will not shut the door in your face, let me put it that way. But I think they will definitely hear you out. Okay, one more time with the crow, because I want to ask what if there's any advice for you. Okay, there obviously is. They want you to take the risk, Pisces. Spirit wants you to take the risk. This is pretty clear. They want you to release yourself because you're the one who's preventing yourself from finding out. You're trapping yourself with your own fear, obviously, and your own pride and your own ego. They want you to drop it and give it a shot. I'll try one more shuffle, see if there's anything else they want to say about that, or if I got that right. Spirit, do you want to say anything else about... Okay, they do. King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, they don't want you to come in the same old way that you used to come in. My God, they have a lot to say. Okay. Whoa. Okay, hold the phone. They don't want you to revert to your old ways of trying to manipulate this. If you come back to this person and you try to explain yourself or at least try to, heal a bad situation or bad feelings between the two of you, don't come in with your old agenda. Because you have some ways about you that you have not been able to completely let go of yet because they're so ingrained, which is you tend to be a little manipulative. So they're saying, don't do that, because if you do that, it's like the sword, this is normally the sword of truth. Well, in the reverse, it's bullshit. It's like, it's not going to get you anywhere. Okay, so that's big advice. Then all these other cards flew out, and I already asked, and yes, I have to look at all of them. So this is the first one. You see, you have the potential to heal this relationship. You've got the Page of Cups. If you communicate, because again, pages are about communication and sending messages. If you communicate in an up and up way without any game playing, and you're concise and you speak the truth, like the King of Swords, no bullshit, okay? No pretty words, no, romantic gestures, just God honest, this is what my soul is telling me, then you will definitely be off of the defensive. Yep. And ultimately you will win. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna tie up everything now with this is an intense reading, Pisces. You and Libras this month. Whew, I tell you, I'm sweating. It was intense. Okay, we're gonna end this with the magical oracle. Okay, well, I mean, could it get any more prophetic? Compassion. They want you to approach this whole situation with a tremendous amount of compassion, and only compassion. I can't stress that enough. No game playing, no charisma, no flirtation, no charm, no bullshit. We know you can do that. You know you can do that. It's not going to work on this person that you're trying to get forgiveness from. It's not going to work because they know you're crap. I mean, they see right through it, and they have evolved to a place now where they're not the same person you broke up with. So you have to keep that in mind. Trust your inner feelings and let them lead you a little more strongly. Spiritual energy will be very high, so perhaps fulfillment or illumination in this aspect of life will be easier to obtain. This is a time of giving, of looking out for others and taking a more supportive role. Remember that the more you give, the more you will receive, and in ways that may be not apparent in the first instance. Listen more than you talk, give more than you take, and bend a little more than usual. Well, Pisces, whomever of you this was meant for, I hope it helped. It was pretty specific and a little harsh and at times, but necessary, I guess. I'm just the messenger, so don't shoot me. But I feel for you because I know you're scared to take this risk, and you just don't know if you're doing the right thing. But I think it's pretty clear that you are doing the right thing. The outcome is still a big question mark because there's another person involved, and sometimes spirit wants you to do something despite the outcome. In other words, you don't always do something in life for the reward. Like in other words, sometimes the risk is worth the reward, and sometimes the risk is worth even if you don't get the reward because you learn something from taking a risk. You change and you grew from being a risk taker. So clearly they want you to drop the fear and the ego and just go for it and let the chips fall where they may. I really think that's the message here. So please, if this resonated with you, you gotta put a comment down because I have to know, because this was so specific, and it's so rare, when I get these very specific readings, but so cool sometimes. So please let me know if this resonates with you. Share if you know of someone else it might resonate with. Subscribe. I try to read all my comments and reply to all of them as much as I can. This was fun, Pisces, and I'm really excited to hear what what the rest of the month brings you. So good luck, all my love. Bye-bye.